Hi, guys. So, today I wanted to talk about the things that we can do to set ourselves up for success. So, yesterday I did a video on small habits that we can start shifting in our everyday worlds as we work on things. Today, I want to talk about what are the things that we can do to set ourselves up for success. So, as we're on this journey, it will make it easier for us to keep the promises to ourselves, as well as stay true to what we're trying to accomplish, even when the world is making it kind of difficult for us to do that. So, you know how it is. You set a goal, you're all in, you've kind of timed it when you're going to start just right, whether that's at, the traditional new year or whether that is when you've decided you want to get that beach body or you've started a vacation and it's a staycation. So it's easy to set yourself up with routines and habits. But what happens when all that stuff sort of goes to the wayside? When you have the chaos of everything in the external world creeping in, or maybe you're getting triggered by things. What do you do then? So let's talk about some strategies you can put in place to set yourself up for success from the beginning while you're still in the honeymoon phase of your journey. So, what does that look like? Let's talk about food first. First of all, you have got to establish what works for you. So we all have lost and gained weight over and over throughout our lives. We know innately what works for us. So, for instance, I know that eating 6 small meals a day does not work for me at all. That is a terrible strategy for me. I also know Weight Watchers doesn't work for me. I am not someone who is willing to spend the time tracking points. To me, that feels exactly like tracking calories. Now, I know people who have had tremendous success using Weight Watchers as their guide to weight loss. I'm not one of those people. I'm just not. I'm not a deprivation person. I'm not good at anything that's going to cause me to track. So I needed the impossible. I needed something that would allow me to eat what I wanted to eat when I wanted to eat it without gaining weight and allowing me to lose weight. So that seems all very counterintuitive, right? But it really wasn't. I found that fasting, intermittent fasting, worked for me. But I also found that 1 a day fasting did not work for me. Longer fasts do not work for me, but short fasts don't either. So a 12-hour fast to me does not work. 14 hours, no good. My sweet spot, 16 to 18 hours. Eat twice a day. Don't eat after 6:30 or 7 at night. Don't eat before 11:30 or noon the next day. Typically, I push that even further. It's 3:38. I just had my first food of the day. And I'll eat again around my husband's getting home a little later, which is why I ate a little later. I'll eat again around 6:45. That's what works for me. I don't snack in between, and I don't watch what I eat when I eat. With that being said, I don't limit the foods that I eat, but I do have rules around the food that I'll eat. So I don't eat fast food ever, ever. If I'm traveling, I say ever. I mean, in the majority of my day to day life. In fact, yesterday I had to take my mom to an appointment and it was an eye appointment. So her eyes got dilated and she wasn't going to be able to make anything for dinner that night. And had I thought ahead, I would have made her something, but I didn't. And she said, "Will you run me through McDonald's?" My mom has lots of health issues. McDonald's is a no no. And I said, is that the best choice? And she goes, well, I'm not going to be able to see to make food. And she eats pretty early. I'm not going to be able to see to make food. So, this is an exception. So I take her there. I drive through McDonald's. And I thought to myself, as I was doing this, when is the last time I've driven through somewhere for fast food where I got something from a window? And I literally couldn't remember. Even with our road trips, I couldn't remember because I've even shifted that now, even when we are driving on a road trip, I don't do that. We'll either, bring something like a peanut butter and jelly, or we will stop at a gas station like, Bucky's or I forget the name of the other one, but the ones that like have fresh food in it. And I'll just make a healthy choice there. So I'll grab, a cheese stick and a hard boiled egg, or, um, those little packages of rolled up meats with cheese or something. And that's what I'll eat. So I just don't eat fast food. And I mean, by fast food, I even mean like Panera. I just don't do that anymore. I did it a lot more during my weight loss journey when Caroline was still at home. But now that I don't have her saying, can we run and go get Jimmy John's? Can we go get Panera? Can we get Chipotle? I just don't do it. I just don't do it. These are rules I've made with myself, right? So those are rules that I've made. I don't eat really, especially during like my first meal of the day, I don't eat things like potatoes or rice or even if like, let's say back in the day when I would have Chipotle or what was the other one? I forget. Anyway, those kind of places, instead of rice, I would just do a bed of lettuce. So I wouldn't do the rice in there. I would do the bed of lettuce. But I just don't even do those because it's, for me, an easy way to layer in calories because I want all the stuff that makes it taste good. So those are some hard and fast rules I have for myself. Outside of those rules, it doesn't really matter. Now, how do I set myself up for optimal success? I meal plan. I know it's not ideal. I know it's not what we want to do on a regular basis, and I get that. But I have a meal planner that I sit down with on Saturdays or Sunday, depending on how the weekend is falling, and I go day by day. And I say, okay, this is like, so Stephen is somebody who does need 3 meals a day, and he does fine on 3 meals a day. For me, my body doesn't respond if I do 3 meals a day. So for him, I make at the beginning of every week, on either Sunday, Monday, I will make him a week's worth of overnight oats. And I make the same kind, and I make it in one big bowl, and I just duplicate it into his little containers. I put him in the fridge, and in the morning he just grabs one and goes, and he has his breakfast for the morning. So I, will come up with it. Like this week was apple pie flavored overnight oats. And so he has those. I don't eat breakfast. It doesn't agree with me. I don't need it. It clogs me up and it doesn't make me feel good. So, and it makes me hungry all day long. So I just don't do it. Works for him. So I, choose the overnight oats I'm going to make for him. And then for lunch, usually for him, we just do those little grab and go salad bowls. And I get, 5 different kinds for the week, stock them in. He pulls that when he pulls his oats, and off he goes to work. Now, for me, I don't like those, and salad doesn't really agree with me. I eat salad, but it doesn't really agree with me. It doesn't let me release weight as well. I still find I'm hungry after I eat a salad, even if I do put some protein on it. And it just, for me, is not an effective method. So I've learned that through trial and error, right? And so for me, what works is I love to make a giant soup at the beginning of the week. So usually this is when I'm doing his overnight oats. I'll have soup stuff going. So I'll get a bunch of chicken breast or rotisserie chicken from Costco. Those are the best. So I will, either get chicken breasts, put them in the crock pot for, all day long, and then I shred them. And then that's my meat I put in my soup. Or I just get a rotisserie chicken and I, shred the chicken, and then that's what goes in my soup. I'll make all different kinds of soups. Sometimes it's a cabbage-based soup, which are probably my favorite. I might do like a Southwest style soup. I might do a Thai flavored soup. It doesn't really matter. Soup is amazing. You get so many nutrients in there. They're packed with protein. If I'm doing a non-meat based one, I just put so many beans in there. Sometimes I do beans and I do the chicken. And I put tons of veggies in there and I just let it simmer. I'll put, garlic. A lot of times if it, depending on the kind of soup, I'll do a lime. And then when I get my cup and a half of soup each day to eat, I've got tons of proteins, tons of veggies, so many nutrients, and then I'll add just a little sprinkling of cheese, little dollop of sour cream, maybe some crunchy little chips, little dash of lime, and boom, I am so happy every day with that. My body loves soup. All kinds, all kinds. So that's one way for me that I totally set myself up for success, because the beauty with soup is, as it's getting low, add more broth, put in more veggies. You can ride that wave of the soup for a long time. So it usually will last me all week when I make that pot on Monday. Now let's say I didn't do that for whatever reason. So like this week I didn't do that. I just had a busy weekend and honestly I didn't feel like it, so I didn't do it. So what I've been doing this week is peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and jelly works for my body. It doesn't sound like it should, but it does. It just does. I stay full. I can have that one peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't need to have a side with it. I don't need to have anything else. And I'm satisfied until dinner time. If I'm like over it and I'm like, because I can already tell this is like day 4 of eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I'm over it. So next week, I probably won't even buy any bread from the grocery because it's the only time I eat bread all week. And I'll probably, like right now in my head, I'm thinking eggs sound good. So what I'll probably do is I've got a carton of eggs. I mortgaged my house for them, but that's a whole nother story. I've got a carton of eggs. I will cook those up into hard-boiled eggs. So I've got hard-boiled eggs I can eat when I'm on the go. I have a little bit of a busier week next week, so I might have more days that I'm on the go. So that's the other thing. You got to be smart. You got to set yourself up for success. I'm not going to make soup on the weeks that I'm busy because then I'm probably not going to eat that soup, right? So it doesn't make any sense. I've got to look ahead at my calendar. What do I have this week? I need to be realistic about what I can make. Even making a sandwich, if I am running behind, is not going to happen. But what can happen is I grab 2 hard-boiled eggs and I go. And I'm totally golden for the week, right? Because I've got this set up. I've set up a no-fail system in place. So you've got to look at your calendar. You've got to be smart about what will I do if I get in a situation where I'm too busy to do the plan A. What's my plan B? Do I have a plan B? Set yourself up for a plan B. Look at those days where plan B might need to be in place and have a plan. Big, huge piece of advice. Time when you're going to eat it, time what you're going to eat. Be thoughtful about it. Listen to your body. So my body can eat the same thing every day for a while and be happy. You might not be one of those people. So if that's the case, you can still set yourself up for success. So maybe you make a big batch of soup, but in addition, you have some hard-boiled eggs. So if on that Tuesday, you're like, oh, kind of over the soup already, eat a hard-boiled egg. And then on Wednesday, have some soup and vary it. So set yourself up for success. For dinners, I love my crock pot. I'm a crock pot girl. I am not a good cook. I don't like to cook. I love to bake. I hate to cook. I love to grill. I'm so excited we're getting back into grilling season. But what I do is, this week is a prime example. I had a bunch of chicken. I put it in the crock pot. I shredded it up. So on Monday, I had gone to book club on Sunday and I had taken a homemade black bean and corn salsa with chips. So I took that chicken, I shredded it up. I had some tortillas, I had tortilla chips, I had a bunch of lettuce, and I said, okay, we're going to have like chicken tortillas, or we're going to have, chicken salads, but Mexican flavor style. And so that's what we did Monday for dinner. We still have that left over in the fridge now. So then Tuesday, I had a bunch of ground beef and I was like, well, I've still got the salsa. I've still got the stuff I used yesterday. I am going to go ahead and cook up this beef with some taco seasoning and put some cumin and stuff in there and garlic and made it really yummy. We had taco salads for dinner Tuesday night. Yesterday, Stephen worked late, so we both had leftover taco salads for dinner. I've got a hot sauce, so that leftover chicken that I made on Monday, I'm going to tonight add in that hot sauce. And tonight, we will have this shredded chicken with hot sauce, and I'm going to cook up some mashed potatoes. I've got Bob Evans. I mean, this doesn't have to be hard. I've got Bob Evans mashed potatoes. They're delicious. We love them. I will cook those up and Stephen will have his portion. I will have my small little clump of it. I will put that chicken on there. I am good to go. We have some leftover corn on cob that we had Monday night with dinner. No, we had that Sunday when I grilled out. I did grill out Sunday night. We have some leftover corn on the cob. Cook that up. That can be a side. So we've got the chicken, we've got a little bit of mashed potatoes, and we've got that corn, and we could probably even make a salad if we wanted. But for me, that'll be enough. If Steve wants to then put together a salad because he's still hungry, he can do that. But that's not what I'm planning on. So that's dinner tonight. But see, I had already made the grocery list, right? I already had all of these things because I'd already planned it all out. So for me, all I have to do is execute. And on the days I can't execute, my plan B is I have enough leftovers from the other days that can be dinner when I don't have time or I got caught up in something else or I just simply forgot to defrost something, right? So set yourself up, plan A, plan B, be thoughtful. You are not going to lose weight not being thoughtful, regardless of the approach you take. I don't care if you're doing the weight loss meds. You will not lose weight if you are not thoughtful about it. So you've got to do some work on your own. Set yourself up for success. So then going into the weekend, let's talk about what do you do when you want to eat out? I eat out. So our routine is through the week, we eat just dinners at home. We don't eat out. We don't do any of that. On Saturday night, usually I'm over it. I'm over it. Like I'm planning for the next week. I don't want to cook. I just don't. So usually Saturday night, we do some form of either carry out and bring it in and watch our shows because I'm one of those people. I used to watch TV all the time. I don't watch TV during the week hardly ever. And so Saturday nights are usually, I mean, we're wild over here. When Stephen and I, if we don't have plans, like that's when I commit. Like I'm sitting down, let's get caught up. Let's watch our shows. So we'll like around 3 or 4, I call it. I'm like, okay, I'm done with whatever we're doing. Let's just now just fully relax. And so usually we do get carry out, to be honest, anymore. Sometimes we'll go grab something and then come back and watch our shows. So I do allow for that to happen. And then on Sundays, this is our routine. We get up, we go to church, and we go to brunch. I love brunch. I love it. I'm not willing to give it up. I love brunch. I have not given up brunch during this entire journey. Do I eat brunch at 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning? No. Last week we had brunch at 1 p.m. and I had pancake, eggs, and I got sausage, but I didn't eat them. And I think some hash browns came with it. We go to brunch. I love brunch. I love it. It's my thing. I look forward to it all week. So that's what we do. Sundays, church, brunch. And then whatever Sunday afternoon brings. A lot of times Sunday afternoon brings my planning. We get home and that's when I sit down because usually Saturday we're doing something during the day. But like last week, I had plans on both Saturday and Sunday. So I just got up Saturday morning and I did all my weekly planning. And while I was gone, which is rare that we're not together on the weekend, but while I was gone, he ran to the grocery for me because on my planner, I've got it all listed out. And then there's a side thing where I can write the groceries that I need. And then that part just tears off. I give it to him because I hate to grocery shop. and he goes and gets the groceries. When he can't, for whatever reason, then I just do our grocery store is Kroger. I do Kroger delivery to the house on Monday. It's the first thing I do in the morning. Once I've sat down at my desk, is I just then place my Kroger delivery order, so it's here by mid morning, and then I can make my oats and my soup if I want, and all of the things. So that is how I set myself up for success. Now let's talk about eating out. How do you set yourself up for eating out? You eat small portions. You choose when you eat out what is the most important thing to me here. So let me give you an example of brunch last week. We went to this new place. It was super cute, called the Ugly Duckling. It's this like soul food breakfast, which I grew up in Florida. Soul food breakfast is like my jam. I love it. I grew up going to it with my dad. I love it. So this was totally that vibe. And they made the most amazing hash browns. So good. And I don't even like hash browns, or I guess they were tater tot. They're hash brown tater tots. I don't even like tater tots or hash browns. And I ate these. These were so good. And they made pancakes as big as my head. And they used oat milk and applesauce as their ingredients. So they were actually semi healthy, but like our server said, he's like, let's be real, it's cake on a plate. It's true. It was so good though. So I got that with their homemade cinnamon butter. And then it came with 2 eggs, 2 sausage patties. And I think that was the extent of it. So I was like, I looked at my plate and I knew what I wanted most. This is my thought process. I knew what I wanted most was the pancake. So I took a bite of the pancake with this amazing homemade cinnamon butter. And I was like, yes, please. So of that big pancake, I probably ate this much of it. So think of it as the size of my head. I probably ate this much of it. And then I knew I wanted some protein because I was going to my book club, and my book club is going to have lots of food. We were all bringing food. I just didn't want to be tempted by it. And I knew that pancake probably wasn't going to satiate hunger. While it scratched the itch for a little treat, it was not going to satiate hunger. So I ate both of my eggs and I ate a third of my hash browns, but I didn't eat the sausage. I looked at the sausage, and while it looked good, I thought, of everything here to eat, that is not appealing to me. My body is saying I could do without it. I'm really could care less about this sausage. So I just gave it to Steven. I just didn't eat it. So I was eating the pancake, and it was so good. Like probably the best pancake I've ever had in my life, to be honest. And I was getting really full. And I remember looking at it and I just wanted another bite because it was so good. But I was full. And I looked at Steven and I was like, I'm putting my fork down. I am done. And I put it in the position that signals done. And our server came over right away. He was very good. He came over right away and he was like, finished? And I was like, please box it, because I would eat this entire thing if it sat there staring at me, because Steve was still eating and we were kind of lingering. We had time on our side. And so he did. And once it was boxed, it was out of mind. And I brought it home. It's still sitting in my fridge. I just need to throw it out. I never touched it again. It scratched my itch in the moment. I had absolutely no guilt around eating it. None. I controlled how that all went down. And I didn't lose any weight that day, but I didn't gain any either. And I ate that. I did not snack at book club. I didn't even try anything. I had not a bite of anything. I was full. And while it looked good, I didn't need it. I made a conscious decision. So that's what I'm saying. When you go out to eat, make choices. You can't go out to eat and have an appetizer, a drink, the bread, the side salad, the main course, and a dessert. You can't. Not if you want to lose weight. That's the reality of the world. It doesn't seem fair, but that's the truth. So what you have to do is not say, I can't go out to eat because I can't eat what I want. That's actually not true. You can eat what you want. You just can't eat all that you want. So choose. Is the appetizer or the bread more important to me? Do I need the side salad because I get a veggie with my main course? Do I need the mashed potatoes, or could I sub in a veggie because I want to eat the steak? So just kind of make those deals with yourself. If you say, I want, like I'm thinking right now in my head as I'm saying this, I'm thinking of a restaurant I love called J. Alexander's, and they have an amazing carrot cake. So I just went out and celebrated my birthday. My neighbor BFF and I, we have birthdays in the same month. So we had like a neighbor BFF birthday dinner, which is what we do. And I love it. I love it. I just love her so much. And so anyway, we went out to our favorite restaurant. Both of us love the same place, J. Alexander's, and we got a cocktail. One cocktail. We said, neither one of us have been drinking, but we said, you know what? We love this cocktail. We both love it. It's their little lemon drop version of their lemon drop. It's so good. And so we got it. We didn't get an appetizer. We didn't get bread. We got one side salad. We split it. We both got steaks. Yeah, we both got steaks. We ate those. And then we knew they give you their awesome carrot cake dessert. I ate half my steak. I ate all of my salad. I drank all of my drink. And I ate probably half of my carrot cake. I just made choices. I easily could have gone for an appetizer, another drink, the bread, all the things. I could have eaten all of my baked potato. I could have done all of that, but I didn't need to. I left that meal so satisfied, so happy because I ate the things I wanted to eat most. I ate the things I went there to eat. And I didn't deny myself. I didn't feel deprived at the end of it all. I didn't gain weight. But you know what else I didn't do? I didn't eat a huge lunch. I knew I had that dinner coming. So I made my lunch make sense. I didn't remember what I ate for lunch that day. Actually, I don't even think I ate lunch that day. I think I wasn't hungry. Had I been hungry, I would have eaten, but I was listening to my body. I wasn't hungry. And so I said, okay, this is what we're going to eat today. And so that's how I accommodated for all those extra calories. And I didn't wither away. And I didn't wake up weak. And I didn't go to bed hungry or any of those things. I felt perfectly in control and great at the end of that entire experience. It was magic. So, what my point is to you, I'm sharing all of this. It's going to look different for you, right? The foods that resonate with you, the style of eating that resonates with you, and it's trial and error. I didn't know this about myself in the beginning of this journey, but I was willing to see what worked, and I was willing to let go of what didn't and then try something new. I didn't give up just because this one approach I took didn't work. I kept refining it until I found what does resonate for my body. And I learned to listen to my body. My body doesn't need breakfast, so I don't eat breakfast. That's okay. Sometimes, though, I have eaten breakfast because I've woken up starving. And I know if I continue that hunger, I'm going to overeat the rest of the day. And I don't want to do that. So maybe I ate breakfast, skipped lunch, and ate dinner. It happens. There are always exceptions to the rule. But for me, the rule usually is no breakfast. We're going to stick to those 2 times a day. We're going to eat what we want to eat within reason. We're going to be strategic and smart. We're going to set ourselves up for success, plan A and plan B. And we're going to be thoughtful and mindful around our eating so that when the chaos is storming around me, I've created my plan. I have my blueprint in place. I cannot fail unless I choose to, because I've made it foolproof. So that's what I want you to kind of sit with after you're reading this or hearing this is how can I take even a little bit of that approach and start implementing it? You don't have to do it all at once. This is 2.5 years in, but be thinking about what can I do now that will start a shift in the right direction and then build from there. But find what works for you. Listen to your body. Your body knows what it wants and what it likes. Pay attention. Listen to the cues. Sit with yourself once a day and say, what worked here? Maybe even journal about it. What worked here? What didn't? What could I shift tomorrow? How can I get more aligned with what I need and I want so that I'm humming, so that I am so in sync with what my body needs so this weight loss journey is successful. Good luck. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Let me know. I'd love some comments. Just let me know how this resonates. Take care.